Hi there, my lovely friends. How's it going? Many of you have sent me emails on my channel's official email ID. This is a much requested topic and a much requested video. Yes, I'm talking about CEFR knowledge. You people are sending me loads and loads of email on daily basis that you need some guidance and assistance regarding that topic. So here I am. In this video, I'm going to explain you what CEFR knowledge is all about, and then I'm also going to highlight what are the kinds of questions that you can get in the exam. So we'll be shifting to the computer screen and I'll be explaining each and everything in detail. And I also want to thank each and every viewer, all those who drop in some encouraging comments in the form of their positive feedback. Trust me, this is the biggest motivation for anyone because my hard work seems to be rewarded. Keep doing that. I'm really thankful to all of you for that. And I also want to announce that I'll be uploading a video about language transfer, that is Arabic transfer. Basically, let me tell you that you people should know what are the differences between English language and Arabic language. For example, English language is written from the left hand side, whereas Arabic language is written from the right hand side. So you should focus on the differences and you'll be able to tackle this part of the exam in that way. So let's not wait any further. Stick around with me till the end of the video. So as I told you in the intro that this video is about CEFR knowledge, and you should know basically the levels of CEFR knowledge, that is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. So the level A1 calls beginner level. Similarly, the level A2 is a bit higher, that is called elementary level, and from elementary you proceed to level B1, that is intermediate, and that goes to B2, which is called upper intermediate, C1 advanced, and C2 is proficient. So basically you need to memorize the descriptions. These descriptions you need to know a thorough knowledge of this, because based on that you'll be able to evaluate the essay that I'm going to show you in the coming slides. So you can pause the video, take a screenshot and memorize all these details. For example, you should know in an essay, if you find something which is similar to this criteria, that means you have to evaluate that essay as per a beginner level or A1. For example, it says that I have a basic ability to understand and exchange information on familiar topics in a very simple way. So if you read an essay where the expression is really simple and no proficiency is shown, and you don't see the usage of impressive vocabulary and sentence structure, that means this essay belongs to the very simple basic beginner level. Similarly, if you have a look at the C1 advanced level, I understand a wide range of language in a variety of contexts, including unfamiliar topics, and can communicate my ideas really well. So that means this is an advanced person, an advanced learner of the English language, and the person can understand a wide range of language in a variety of contexts, including unfamiliar topics. That means if you give any topics, this person can tackle the topic in an easy manner and communicate the ideas really well. So if you see an essay which shows clarity of expression, with the ideas being conveyed in a very proficient manner, so you can say that this essay belongs to C1 category or the advanced level. So that's why you need to have thorough knowledge of all of these levels, ranging from A1, A2 till the end of C2. So basically in this video we'll focus what CEFR knowledge is all about, and I'll also tell you how to prepare for this section of exam. First thing, you can take a screenshot of this slide and you have to memorize all these levels, that is basic, A1 beginner level, A2 is elementary level, A2 plus, that is pre-intermediate. So there's a third level, and when we appeared for the exam, this level was also included, and they asked us in the rubric that you can assign any of these levels to the given essays when we evaluate them. So that's why you need to have a thorough knowledge of this as well. That is A2 plus is called pre-intermediate. It's a stage between one level to another, that is the pre-intermediate stage. When you move from pre-intermediate stage to the next level, that is independent, B1 is intermediate and B2 is upper intermediate. Similarly, B2 plus can be called pre-advanced level, and then you have C1 and C2 proficiency level. So as I told you in the intro that Common European Framework Guided Learning Hours from beginner level, you need to learn that how many hours are required to reach from one level to another. For example, to reach the basic level, that is A1, a person needs approximately a range of 90 to 100 hours. Similarly, to reach the level A2, you need approximately 180 to 200 hours, and B1 approximately 350 to 400. Similarly, for B2, you need 500 to 600 hours, and for C1, you need 700 to 800 hours, and C2 approximately 1000 to 1200 hours. You can literally rote learn this slide so that you know for which level how many what time frame is required. So let's have a look at the question which is also given in the TESOL study guide. This is question number 8. How many total hours of study is it usually estimated a new learner will need to reach CEFR level B2? So I just showed you a slide that you need to learn and memorize, literally rote learn those time spans mentioned in the slide, and as per that time frame, as per that guideline, your correct answer is answer B, that is the time frame ranging from 500 to 600 hours. So that's why you can get questions related to time frame or time span required to reach each level. So it's better you rote learn and memorize nicely the previous slide. So let's have a look at this description, which is also given in the TESOL study guide for subject specialization exam. It's written that this section assesses the teacher's ability to apply a rubric based on the CEFR levels to assess student writing. So you'll be given some short essays where you'll be asked to assess them and allocate them a particular level ranging from A1, A2 till the end, that is C1 to C2, from basic level to the advanced level. So what are the instructions given for this section? In this section, you'll read some extracts from essays and decide what CEFR level they are. So you need to have a thorough knowledge of the CEFR level. For example, you can decide whether an essay belongs to B2 level or C1 level. Make the best judgment you can. That's why you need to have a thorough knowledge of all the levels, learn all the descriptors belonging to A1, A2, B1, B2 and till the end C2. If you feel an essay is midway between two bands, that is B2 and C1, award it a half band, that is B2 plus, that is called pre-advanced level. So what you can do is keep a midway level also in mind, and let me tell you that sometimes you are lucky which has been called for cycle 2 exam, then they give you the CEFR descriptors on the left hand side. You can see all the descriptors along with the essays and write. But if you're appearing for cycle 3 exam, then those descriptors are not given. You have to memorize them. So if you're a cycle 3 teacher, then you must memorize all the descriptors describing all the levels ranging from A1 till C2. But if you are going for the exam for cycle 2, then you are lucky. They'll give you all the descriptors on the left hand side. So you'll be able to see the rubric or marking scale alongside each essay. There are 15 essays and you have 20 minutes. In this section, you can go back and change your choice. So remember that this section of the exam is very important because there are 15 essays and you only have 20 minutes. So unless and until you don't have a thorough knowledge of all the descriptors, you won't be able to tackle this part of the exam. So don't take it easy. This is really challenging. Levels are defined through can-do descriptors. So basically you need to have a very clear and vivid candid picture of these can-do descriptors. You really need to memorize them, rote learn them, so that when an essay appears in front of you, you can recall that and you can apply that descriptor to check that which level this essay belongs to. So let's have a look at all the descriptors beginning from A1. This is the CEFR writing descriptor for level A1, that is the beginner level. Such a person can write a short simple postcard, for example sending holiday greetings. Such a person can fill in forms with personal details, for example, entering his or her name, nationality, and address on a hotel registration form. So basically, all you need to know is that a person belonging to level A1 has a very basic knowledge of the language, such as filling in short details in the form of short phrases such as your name, your details, just one word answers or two word answers. Similarly, if you go to level A2, that means such a person can write short, simple notes and messages relating to matters in the areas of immediate needs. For example, I can write a very simple personal letter, for example, thanking someone for something. So A1 and A2, people belonging to the level A1, A2 have a very basic knowledge of the language. Now let's review what level B1 and B2 is all about for CEFR writing. This is B1, this is B2. I can write simple connected text on topics with which are familiar of personal interest. I can write personal letters describing experiences in and impressions. So this level is a little higher than the previous level. Such a person can write in a detailed manner, contrary to level A1 and A2 where the details were written in the form of short sentences, words or phrases. Similarly, if you review level B2, such a person can write clear detailed text on a wide range of subjects. So the difference is such a person can write on a wide range of subjects related to his or her interests. I can write an essay or report passing on information or giving reasons in support or against a particular point of view. I can write letters highlighting the personal significance of events and experiences. So basically, when a person moves from level A1, A2 to level B1, B2, there is a remarkable difference. This person has, a good command over his written expression and can express himself in a better way. So let's have a look at CEFR level C1, and excuse the unclear vague picture. I was not able to find any information about the CEFR writing descriptors. This I was able to find after tireless effort of 1 hour, so excuse me for that. Anyways, let's get back to business. If a person belongs to level C1 of CER writing, that means I can express myself in clear, well-structured text, expressing points of view at some length. I can write about complex subjects in a letter, an essay, or a report, underlining what I consider to be the salient issues. So such a person can highlight the main significant issues. I can select style appropriate to the reader in mind. For example, this person can address to a wide range of styles and formats. For example, a person knows the difference between the use of formal language and informal language. A person knows different formats. For example, is the person supposed to write in a formal letter or an informal letter? The tone should be formal, and in an informal letter, the tone should be informal. The language can change. For example, while addressing someone in a formal official manner, the person would choose appropriate words, appropriate language. So this person has in-depth knowledge of the language and catering to different contexts and catering to different styles and formats. Similarly, a person who belongs to level C2, I can write clear, smoothly flowing text in an appropriate style. So remember, if you see these things present in an essay, that means that person belongs to level C2. I can write complex letters, reports, or articles which present a case with an effective logical structure. So keep these keywords in mind. If there is logical, effective structure somewhere present in an essay, flow of ideas is logical and effective, that means this essay belongs to the level C2, which helps the recipient to notice and remember significant points. I can write, summarize, and review of professional or literary works. So this was all about it. All the levels. Keep all these descriptors in mind, learn the keywords and learn to apply them on the essays so that you can categorically evaluate an essay that to which level it belongs. So let's review some of the questions given in the study guide. For example, there is a question in the study guide. Simple essay 1. In your opinion, what would be a great vacation? And the CAFR band is given. So all these levels are given, whether it's A1, A2, B1, B2. So as I've given you the descriptors, you can read nicely all those descriptors of CEFR writing and decide. And anyways, I've written the answer for you. That is A1 plus. This is a midway level. Between A1 to A2, this is A1 plus. That means this person has very basic knowledge, and this person doesn't have good command over language. For example, you can see here there are mistakes. I'm going to write about there are spelling mistakes on of the most. So the spelling errors are too many. Important topics, this person doesn't know the usage of singular or plural or the agreement of subject and verb. Important topics in our life. It is about travel with foreign country. You can see the spelling errors. Country spellings are also wrong. Every device has I'm not even able to make out what has been written. Positive effects, again spelling mistakes, and negative effects to opening with Trevage with very fine. I'm not able to make out over like travel with me, hotel because of me, and blah blah blah. So you can see here that this person is trying to express himself. So instead of using just the phrases, because we learned that if a person belongs to the beginner level A1, he can only enter details in the form of words or phrases such as his name and his address. But this is a bit higher than that level. So that means this is the midway level, that is A1 plus. So a level between A1 to A2, that is a midway level, because he's not answering, this person is not answering in words, though this person is trying to write sentences, but there are a lot of grammatical and spelling errors, but still, yeah, the person tried. That's why this is a midway level, that is A1 plus. So that's why I told you, learn the descriptors nicely and learn to apply them on the written paragraphs. Take the paragraphs from Google and apply them, and so that you enhance your knowledge of all the descriptors, and you don't end up in a recipe of disaster, that if you have no knowledge and you don't know how to apply them. So let's have a look at the given question. It's given in the TESOL study guide for subject specialization exam. All right, so let's have a look at our question. This is a sample essay. In your opinion, what would be a great vacation? And this is the student's response, and we have to allocate the level as per the CEFR writing levels, A1, A2, and there are midway levels as well, that is A2 plus, A1 plus till C1 plus. All right, so let's have a look at that. So traveling around the world is the best way to spend any vacation or holiday. You get to learn about new cultures and have new experiences, all while having fun. However, the important element of great vacation for me would be traveling with friends rather than family. In this essay, I'll discuss the narrative in more detail. So you can see here that this person has taken a good start and has given a proper introduction. There is a usage of connectives as well. You don't see any spelling errors, and this person knows how to address the audience in a very gripping manner. All right, and you can see here as we proceed further, don't get me wrong, I love spending time with my family. Just because I would rather travel with my friends doesn't mean I have a rocky relationship with my parents and siblings. You can see this person has good command over vocabulary and sentence structure also. This person is not sticking to using simple sentences. There is a variety of sentences. This person is using simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. So you can see here that this person does not show a beginner level, because he's not answering either in one word or phrases. So that means it's not level A1, A plus, or even 2. This is above basic level. If you have a look at the essay further, if I were to travel with my friends, this person is using conditionals. We would go somewhere wild and dangerous. Look at the usage of vocabulary. We are very brave individuals, and We like to live on the edge. Look at the usage of vocabulary and then usage of connectives. For instance, last summer we attempted to climb a mountain in a discrete location. Look at the vocabulary. While we were backpacking somewhere across the Western Europe. This person is innovative as well. He's trying to improvise and create vocabulary of his own backpacking. And look at the ending. In conclusion, any vacation can be very relaxing and enjoyable, but if I had to choose between my family and friends, I would go with my friends, and simply because it would be a better experience. So this person has a clear flow of ideas, starting with a very gripping beginning, very magnetizing middle, and then a very conclusive end. So this person does not belong to intermediate level at all, because this seems to be a very highly advanced proficient level. That's why our answer in the given choices would be, of course, there is no C2 option given in the question, so our answer is C1 plus. This is the midway level. So this is almost an expert level. So I hope you have learned how to decipher between the levels, how to discriminate and distinguish between the levels and answer the question. Unless and until you have a thorough knowledge of all these descriptors which I showed you in the beginning, you won't be able to answer. The way I tackle this answer and I explain each and everything, you can practice doing that with a lot of sample paragraphs. Take them from Google, and if you need any further help, let me know in the comment section. Not only that, let me tell you that the mistake I made, you don't end up making that mistake. I had learned all the hours for CEFR, but I never knew that we'll be getting a question between the comparative analysis of the hours needed for CEFR level and the band score for IELTS. So you can learn this as well. All right. So for the basic user, there is no band score for IELTS. For independent user B1, the IELTS band score is, it begins from 5, 4.5 and 5. Similarly, for level B2, the IELTS band score ranges from 5.5, 6 to 6.5. And for level C1, the IELTS score is 7 and 7.5 or 8. And for the very proficient level, it's 8.5 or 9. So please memorize that, because I got a question on this and I remember I had not done anything about it, because no question was there that there would be a comparative analysis between the CEFR levels as well as the IELTS, and it was a recipe of disaster for me, because at least I had no clue about it and I had no idea. So I just tried to test my knowledge and gave a random answer. But you have clear descriptors here. You can just take a screenshot of this slide and memorize all these. So I'm dropping this slide as well for you. This is a comparison between language tests. These are CEFR levels, and these are the band descriptors for IELTS, for TOEFL, or for the school years. So you can, this is a bonus slide. You can memorize these as well, because you never know, you might be asked some questions about these as well. So that was all from my side. I hope I've put in a lot of effort in making this video. Half of the day is spent in trying to get information and assemble and make the slideshow. Please don't forget to comment on the video. This is my biggest motivation. And in case you need any other information, you need my help on any other topic, do let me know. You're more than welcome to do that. And thank you very much for watching the video. Best of luck for your exam.